So, the biggest point gain in the Dow Jones since 1933. If this is not the reason to come live, then I don't know what is. Now, we have a couple of topics. Let me just have my notice here. Let's wait until a couple of people will join. Hello, everyone. What a day. Biggest gain since 1933. And moreover, we will talk about the New York City and the Italy situation. Nike will just announce their earnings. We will talk what can happen tomorrow. Is this the bottom? And we will talk about the aid bill from US that apparently the market is anticipating. So let's wait just that a couple of more people will join, and then we can just directly jump in. So it seems there's a couple of problems with YouTube Live recently. I have issues to come live properly. So if there's anything that you guys don't hear, or the sound or the video is not right, then please let me know. Otherwise, let's start. So the Dow Jones, let us just see some stocks what they did today. Okay, so the Dow Jones made 2,113 points gain. Tesla gained 16%. The DAX in Germany gained almost 11%. The S&P 9.38%. Beyond Meat 17%. Virgin Galactic 25%. iRobot 10.55%. Uber 17.81%. AT&T 4.93%. Nasdaq 8%. Apple 10%. Daimler 27%, General Electric almost 15%, Amazon 2%, Nasdaq we had this already. So even Bitcoin 4.66%. So today, the reason why we had this gain, obviously we had the overbought situation on Wall Street the last couple of days. This was the first positive day. Let me just pull this out. This is, let me see. Okay, so if we're looking at the overall months, 25th of February until 24th of March, the Dow Jones lost 25%. And this is, if you're watching my vlogs, obviously you will know, but this is one of the shortest declines in each crisis. So if you compare the 2008, the 1929 depression, the dot-com bubble, if you compare these crises to this one, this is the sharpest decline that was there in a crisis so far. So you can see that the market was absolutely oversold, and it was crying for this recovery. At least if it's even short term, we was so due for such a recovery that today was apparently the day. A couple of good news, obviously, that the government is watching and approving apparently the aid bill that will support economy and the health system, and companies with bailouts as well. There was a little bit of discussions between Democrats and Republicans. Apparently, they agreed to a deal now, and now it's just need Congress approval, which should be soon there as well. And then we have a pretty strong package for now, though I believe, and I don't want to be, the bad guy or the crash prophet here, but I believe that this might not be enough. And you heard it here first. I think this can be one of the first 8 packages. And this means that maybe we will have the first 8 package, then we will have another one, then we have another one. We have seen something similar just now with the Federal Bank of the US. They are just throwing the thing on the markets, just hoping to support them and to absolutely avoid a total crash. We had today an call between Vice President Mike Pence. We had a Trump on the call with some big hedge fund guys, and just to understand the markets and how they can support financially and liquidity on the markets. This is obviously something that is there because in the end of the day, nobody really knows how the market can react and what can be the right steps. And we have seen that the government did a couple of wrong steps in 2008. The Lehman Brothers collapse should never have been approved because it was just catastrophic. You might remember it was then pushed on the English side that the English people didn't wanted to buy some assets of Lehman Brothers, but this was actually really late communicated, and and then we had finance people, the highest guys in Wall Street and the government, who really went there without nothing on a Sunday evening, and Monday Lehman Brothers had to claim Chapter 11, and this was so unfortunately for the financial markets, because this was just like the final hit for the markets to go very much down. And but let's go into this a little bit later, because first of all I wanted to discuss with you guys some significant news that I believe should be considered by the government and the financial markets as well. Currently today was I think in price that we will have some increased stability in the health situation. We will have the aid bill approved, but then I saw something that I was a bit concerned of. Italy cases of the sickness just increased again. They had 2 days of decreased numbers, which was obviously positive, but everybody was considering, is this really the first effect of the lockdown, or is it the just the weekend in between, and people maybe don't go to the doctors. So we really didn't know what was the reason, and I personally, I was very anticipating those numbers, and to see again a spike in the numbers, a spike in the deaths in Italy is not a good sign. Moreover, we had some press conferences from the New York side, from the New York city leaders, which was also very, very concerning, saying that they will need 140,000 beds. It was 110,000 anticipated. So this is an increase of 30%, guys. Just a couple of days later, they said that the increase of medical attention is so important right now, and they underestimated the exponential growth of the virus, which is obviously very negative, because in the end of the day we are talking about a health situation here, not that much of the financial one. The financial one is the result of the health crisis that we are currently fighting against, and therefore I'm very concerned if I hear such a sentences by leadership of people that should move forward in New York, which is the new epicenter in the US, and therefore that this is obviously very concerning. This should, in my personal opinion, in the next couple of days, again drag the markets down. I'm very concerned about the upcoming numbers from the US, from other countries in the EU, like Spain, like Germany. Those numbers will be very, very closely to watch. We are soon at 500,000 people infected by this health crisis. I think that coming now to the next topic, what comes next or what comes tomorrow. I think this is a very, very good question. Do we continue this bull ride? Most importantly is to understand that this is currently rally in the beer market. We definitely didn't. This is not the turnaround, guys. This is a rally in the beer market. If you're looking into history, 1929, 1930s, with the Great Depression. If you're looking into 2007 to 2009, the best days were between the worst days, obviously, because the stock market is always in the situation that it's either overbought or oversold, and we had this oversold situation for a couple of days now. And with the good news now of declining cases in Italy, with the good news about the aid bill, was obviously something to celebrate. And the markets needed this extra push to celebrate at least this one day, or maybe 2 or 3 days. The next topic will be definitely to know, and this is the very first bigger corporation that will talk about earnings. It will be Nike. Nike will represent. Maybe we will, during our live call, will know about Nike's earnings, but Nike's earnings will be very interesting because those are the I think 3 to 2020 of their fiscal year. So we will see how Nike performed from December until Feb 2020, and at least the last month's Feb will be something maybe that we will see a small effect already on the earnings. But the more important part will be guidance, because to be very frank, I'm very surprised that none of those companies, not even Apple, other bigger company, are saying something about guidance. Now, guidance is so important during investing, because people will see, okay, how the company assuming the near future. And obviously, if this is bad, companies start to tumble, especially on the stock market. But public companies are really, how you say it, it's guidance is one of the most important metrics, especially in the earnings season. So I'm very concerned about the earnings at Nike, especially the guidance. So this is closely to watch now in the next couple of hours. However, the question is how we move from here. So obviously we are currently in the upturn, and therefore I believe that this can hold on until maybe Thursday. Thursday, I think, will be a very, very, very significant day. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, just type it in the comment section, and I will try to answer them. And so the most important question, in my personal opinion, this week will be Thursday, because Thursday we will have the very first time the jobless claims in the US. We have seen a huge spike from 220,000 expected to 280,000 jobless claims. And currently, the indication going into this jobless claim is that that jobless claim sites in the US are crashing because of this kind of situation. So we will see how many people are getting jobless, how many people are jobless so far. I think the aid package will be very important for so many companies that some companies even waiting now what to do with their employees, but some companies just had to lay off those people. So I'm very curious how these numbers will look like in the upcoming jobless report on Thursday. So mark Thursday as a very important day. Maybe we will see some fear already in the market tomorrow. After such a run, I think, as the market goes always up and down, I think tomorrow maybe will be now again a negative day. Questions if I have some shorts still on the market. Yes, this is not the end. Some people are claiming that maybe we will see a V shape. A V shape is actually when the stock market goes down and then straight up again after a couple of days. I thought this is totally wrong. Now it's obviously the possibility if we see the spike going more forward, but you have to consider that other formations are also possible. I just heard one of America's biggest hedge fund managers. He said he will rather see a W shape, so that means that we will go up again and then down and then up. Definitely there is a big supporting in S&P 500 when we reach 2000, and also psychologically you have to imagine that once we reach the 2000 mark point, it can be that we will see a psychological turn into the market, that people say, hey, this is the bottom, this is where I have to go in, and we will see a really push into the market. So the next days, it stays interesting. It stays very curious how this moves forward. So Hippie for you has a question. This is something totally different. No one knows where it will go or for how long. So guidance right now will only be speculation. Your thought on this, Joey? Thank you very much for the question, Joey. You are totally right. Guidance is totally speculation. I heard a very nice quote today. Was that what any guidance right now will be wrong. What we know for sure, that any guidance will be definitely not right. Maybe I now confused a bit. So again, he said each guidance that we pull out, we know for sure that it will be wrong. So it was in this way. So actually, I think it was the CEO of Coca-Cola who said this, because it's so difficult to manage this and to understand the market. These are unprecedented times, which never were here before. We cannot compare it to the Great Depression. We cannot compare it to compare it to the financial crisis, because here, financial crisis was easy. The banks were the most important player here, but here the banks just are the houses of liquidity, especially for the people that getting in panic. I think it will be very important for them to understand that this is something that was never done before. And therefore, I believe that also us as investors, long term, again, I can say that be ready to buy some stocks on discount. This will be over in a couple of years, and then you can really be happy that you bought on these levels. Some companies are cheap. I think once we know the guidance, then it can be even cheaper. So let me see if we get some guidance already from Nike. I'm just going on CNBC right now, but no. Oh yes. Okay, so Nike sales beat analyst estimates, but earnings fall, hurt by coronavirus pandemic. Let's see. Nike reported quarterly sales that topped analyst expectations, sending its shares up about 7% in after hours trading Tuesday. Despite the higher revenue, earnings fell, hurt by the pandemic. Obviously, the revenue climbed 5%. The quarter ended 10 million. So revenue climbed, net income fell about 30%. Yeah. But again, guys, this is just the beginning. This is the quarter that ended for Nike on end on February. So we still have no interest or information about March, which is the biggest months where we had some closures of stores. Nike also joined Apple to close some stores. Fred Dosha is asking, what about Tesla? Okay, so let me tell you something about Tesla. I believe Tesla is or will be one of the biggest rebounds of this market. So we went from mid of February of $917 on up to $350 on the 17th of May. 17th of March. And then since then, let me just pull it out a little bit bigger for me so I can just have a look. Since then, we climbed 40%, and we are just, let's say, in a small rebound. So imagine we are ending the whole pandemic situation, then this stock will shoot back up, and then I definitely will be on board as well. Currently, as you know, I sold my Tesla shares because I'm still thinking that everything goes further down. So I'm hoping to catch Tesla back at $250, $300 per share. Let's see if this works out. If not, I had great fun with Tesla since the summer. If you're watching this channel, you know that since summer I'm saying that Tesla is going up, and it was great. So Regina Heffington, my aunt works for the labor office in LA. She said they have been working 7 days a week to the increase on claims. Yeah, I think this will be a super big surprise. What will be this situation on Thursday? Unfortunately, many people are getting getting laid off, and also I think especially in the US we have a special situation where lots of people are very depending on their salary, and especially in the service industry, waiters, people in the hotel industry, people that working in restaurants and cafes. I think they will be really hit hard by that, especially as we don't have a big date where to look into. I know that Donald Trump said he want to open or reopen the economy by 12th of April, which I doubt. I hope the best, but I doubt that this will be under control in 14 days, 15 days. However, obviously we want to do this as fast as possible over, because this was a big shock for us. However, I hope you guys do the best out of it, and keep on watching. I'm here every single day. If you like this live streams, let me know in the comments, because then I can make them more often and more professionally. And I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and stay safe, stay home, and wash your hands. Thanks.